asset is essentially something that you own. Okay? A liability is something that you owe to somebody else. Okay? That's the simple version of how we look at it in accountancy. In this book, Robert Kiyosaki defined an asset as something that puts money in your pocket. So he says this, cash is, and he says a liability is something that takes cash out of your pocket. Okay? Now, if you redefine assets this way and liabilities this way, you start to look at the balance sheet and you look at assets from a different perspective. So I'll give you an example of that. Give me an idea of an asset. What's an asset?
My house.
Fantastic, your house. So, Don. We're going to look at Don's house, okay? And what have you got? 3-bedroom house?
3 bedrooms, 7 months.
Fantastic. And here's what it looks like. Let me know if it's correct.
The doors on the left, actually.
The doors on the left.
And it doesn't have a roof.
Okay, that's Don's house, right? And Don's really proud of his house. And he says it's an asset. Claudette, is he correct? Is a house an asset?
His house is an asset.
Fantastic. Now that's coming from an accountant, right? So I'm not arguing an accountant. An accountant says it's an asset. Well, let's just do a quick check. Don, do you own it?
Yes, I do.
Fantastic. So he passes the accounting test. He owns it. Okay. Do you owe anything on it, like a mortgage?
No.
Then it's completely yours.
Yeah.
Let's pretend that there was a mortgage on it.
Right.
Let's say that the mortgage was, say, maybe 15%
Right.
of the property value. Then 85% is your equity and 15% belongs to the bank. But as you pay that mortgage down, more and more of it becomes yours over time until eventually it's 100% yours. And I'm sure that was your model.
That was exactly my model.
Fantastic. So initially you bought the loan and then you paid the loan down and it became fully yours.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that's the model there. He owns it. Now let's look at it from another perspective. Let me ask you a question. Does your house today, while it's in your ownership, does it on a monthly basis put money in your pocket or take money out of your pocket? So in Don's case, the cash flow is out. And according to Kiyosaki, that's not an asset. That's a liability. It's costing you money to own your house.
Right.
Can you see it?
Yeah, okay.
Okay. So, let me explain this very, very clearly. I'm not saying Don has done a bad thing by buying his house and living in it and letting his family live there scot-free and have his kids live there scot-free. I'm not saying it's a bad thing. That's what we do as parents and as partners. But I'm just trying to say, if we look at it from another perspective, then all of a sudden you'll realise that this is not really an asset from this perspective. It's a liability because you are paying for the house to live in it.
Yeah.
And your children are living for free, but you're not. And those who pay for it are not. Yeah? Okay, so that's what's going on. So give me another example of an asset. What's another one? Any assets? Who's got an asset?
Your car?
Your car, fantastic. Claudette, you've got a car, right?
Yeah.
Tell me what you're driving. And this is your car here, by the way.
My car's a Peugeot 307.
Fantastic.
That does look like a Persian.
So, it's an asset. Let's check. The definition, do you own it?
I do.
Is there a loan on it?
No.
So therefore it's 100% yours?
Yes.
Okay, fantastic. So it passes that test, the ownership test. Now, my question to you, as a consequence of you owning that car, is the net effect, is there more money coming in than going out for owning it, or the way around?
There's more money going out because I pay road tax, I pay petrol,
Yeah.
Insurance,
Yeah.
yeah.
maybe
Parking.
MOT,
Parking. MOT.
etc.,
Yeah.
etc., etc.
So
What you've got.
So in accounting terms, it's an asset because there's still value on it. By Mr.
The Kiyosaki
definition, it's not.
So this car is owned by
Mhm.
Claudette.
Mhm.
Okay, so it passes that test.
Mhm.
She owns it. And every accountant on earth is going to say to her, and it needs to go into the asset side of the balance sheet. Okay. However, it doesn't pass this test. There's actually money going out. Okay. So we've now identified that Paulette's car and Don's house by this definition are liabilities. What's the consequence of that? The consequence is this, is that ownership of these things is taking money out of your pocket every month. Something has to support it. Either you go to work and support it, or now the asset that is doing this supports it. But something is supporting that. Do you understand? And this is what we're going to try and have a rethink in our minds. How we can actually start to have our, let's say, our shopping basket of assets be things that do this and give you money because you own it, instead of taking money out of your hands because you own it. So let's think of an example.
Investment property.
Investment property. So give me an example.
Buy-to-let property. You've got
Alright, so let me ask you a specific question there. Do you actually own a house that puts money in your pocket?
Yes.
Fantastic. Okay, and there's no doubt, I've seen your house anyway, what it looks like. And that's the one.
So she's squatting in mine.
In this case, do you own the house?
Yes.
Fantastic. So you own the house. So that test. Does it, when you add up all the expenses associated with the property, and you add up all the income associated with the property, which is higher, income or the expenses?
The income.
So therefore, net effect, it's bringing money in as opposed to taking money out. Okay, so it's actually doing this. Now, if you notice the difference, that Don's asset, accounting asset, takes money out of his pocket. Claudette's accounting asset takes money out of her pocket, and Bev's accounting asset puts money in her pocket. Now, the bottom line is this, that this asset will make you rich, cash flow rich, and this asset will make you cash flow poor. So, there is going to be a limited number of these assets you can own before you run out of money. So, for example, if I said to you, Don, I'm going to give you 3 more houses, but I want you to let your kids live in it, free, and you're going to pay the bills off, right? A time is going to come when you're going to not be able to have too many, because I'll be giving you 3 houses, but at some point you're going to say, well, I'll stop, I can't have it, because, do you know what I mean? You'll say stop. Whereas in Beverly's case now, if I was to load Beverly up with, let's say, 3 or 4 or 5 or even 25 houses that generate more income than expenses, she's never going to say to me, stop. She's going to say, keep it coming, you understand? I will take as many as you can give me. Whereas in your case, you can't take as much as I can give you, because you're going to get to a point where you can't afford it. If I said to Claudette, I'll give you another 3 more cars, and she has to fund the cars and pay for it, and a time will come where she'll say, too much. You might get to say there's 3 cars or 20 cars, but at some point she'll say, I can't handle it. And the same will be true for you. If I said to you, here's another 5 houses, 25 houses, at some point it'll be too much. Whereas in this model, I can give her 100 houses, it won't matter. At 2,000 houses, it won't matter. Do you understand? And this is the shift I want you to think about. And buy these first. Let these make you rich.